Hey everybody, we're back again. Episode 5 of Under the Covers with Charlie and
Mr. Nick.
Mr. Nick. Oh, he's been super formal this whole podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is a big event. I mean, every
Mr.
time we
Nick.
get on one of these, I feel like I got to be on my best behavior. I got to not slur my words like I just did, and then not do the mic test that I just did, which was sort of epic. Goddamn, epic.
I think we delayed recording by about 10 minutes because we laughed. We just kept replaying it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I hope we can figure out a way to upload it because it was great.
Yeah, it might be one of those buttons that you got there a little later. That was something else.
Oh gosh, well we hope y'all enjoyed our previous episode of Beat It by Michael Jackson and Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear which version was your favorite. If you enjoyed the episode, how many things we possibly screwed up or forgot.
Yeah, we only really talked about like two things, like guitar solos and emo.
And I'm pretty sure we were right about the guitar solos. Maybe not quite right about the emo stuff.
Yeah. But that's why we...
You're pretty sure about the emo stuff you said.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure about that.
Oh, gosh. But we're back again. It's still
This is a big episode.
It is.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
It's ratings week.
Slaps. Song. Slaps.
What's that mean?
Like, it's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're so into that new age lingo.
No. Slaps is pretty much the only one I know. I can't think of anything else right now.
I know. The only one I know is Fortnite.
Yep, Fortnite's another word that slaps.
It does it?
So we go from the king of pop to, some might say, the queen of pop.
Yeah, she's a queen of pop.
Yeah. Tay-Tay.
Tay?
Some people call
it. Is it Tay-Tay?
Yeah, T-Swizzle.
T-Swizzle. Skittlepuss.
Skittlepuss, some might call her. And if they don't, they should. That's why we've got these Skittlepuss t-shirts for sale.
For sale.
Oh, not for sale yet.
Click the link below.
Maybe eventually. Yeah, today we're talking about Taylor Swift.
All right, I'm going to come out and say it. Has she before like the last couple years been that big? Like the biggest artist in the world?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I'm just way out of touch.
Yeah, that was, some people say there's no dumb questions.
That was a dumb question?
I think so. I mean, she's been big for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. Especially, like, even before this album, which the song we'll talk about is on. Yeah, she was big. I mean, she was like a country star. And then a pop country star. And then a pop song star. And then just the fucking queen of the world, basically.
Jeez.
Right?
I just don't know. I just can't believe first of all, she's a horrible taste in men, right? Because every song is about how horrible her men are.
But she did date the guitar soloist
of the last
episode. I didn't even think of that.
That's how we tie this together.
Yeah.
I mean, he is kind of a chameleon of a man.
Yeah. I don't really know any of her other boyfriends other than John Mayer and the football guy.
Well, she dated Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Governor?
Governor.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just kidding.
I just saw a part of the movie Twins on TV the other day. Like I was just kind of scrolling through the YouTube TV and Twins was there, and so I clicked on it, and it was this weird sex scene, and Arnold
what?
Literally yes.
This is in Twins.
Yes, in Twins. I think it was from the 80s and sometime maybe the early 90s, and I don't really remember the movie. I kind of remember the concept of it with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger being twins. But it just happened when I hit play on this part. It was like Arnold Schwarzenegger in a motel room with this lady, and she's all in a nightgown. and she's all sexy, and she's like bending over the bed. Arnold Schwarzenegger made himself a bed on the floor and was like, "Good night." Or yeah, you're the one with the accent.
Good night, mate.
There you go.
That's
good night, mate. And she's like, and she looks at him and she goes, Arnold, or whatever his name was in the movie. She's all bent over like a freaking puppy dog on the bed, her butt's hanging out. I was like, this is not a PG movie.
Mm.
And then they end up having sex.
So, since you're bringing up sex in movies and stuff like this, now in the 80s, am I tracking right that basically every pretty good 80s movie had one shot, not even one scene, one shot in the movie that had boobs? Like,
oh yeah, PG movies, PG-13. It seemed like
I just watched Die Hard, and there was a girl.
A boob.
Yeah, it was the girl running out. You take Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, you got all these movies, and there's always a boob shot.
Yeah.
Where did those go? Why don't we bring that back? Why did that progress where it was just full frontal nudity in a quick little shot? I mean, that would have made life a whole lot easier.
That was like the thing of the movies. It was just like, at least show me a boob.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be two.
Porkies, I mean, they had a bunch of.
Well, that was a little different. But like to your point, there was
always a boob shot.
I think it was because women were objectified in movies and they felt objectified.
I mean, isn't that the reason you're in a movie?
I mean, there wasn't a lot of dongs hanging. There were no dangly parts, just flipping and flapping.
Well, I mean, who's going to watch a dong movie? I mean,
dongs are not great looking.
You've never seen my dong. I'm just kidding you. That's a horrible.
Just kidding me. I have.
Yeah. Joke's on him. He's going to see it again.
Wow.
No. So, you know what? We jumped right into figuring out, like, talk about Taylor Swift, because, I mean, she monopolizes everything, like my football, which is, how's your fantasy football league going?
Well, I'm in two.
You're in,
two leagues. But the one that counts, the low dollar one, that counts because it means so much to me. I'm not doing great. I'm fighting for my life. I might get last place.
You deserve last place. You've been in last place all year long.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that because I'm beating Eric right now.
But not.
If I beat Eric, does that still mean, like, do I still win last place? I'm in the championship in the other one.
Yeah,
that's a big money one.
Yeah.
This is just a pride one.
I'm glad we interrupted this Taylor Swift 1989 thing with some football, because every time I watch football, she interrupts my football.
Yeah. She just cheers from the stands, but at least she's a fan.
I'm not sure she's a fan.
No,
I think she just likes the man. She's a fan.
She's not with Sam Laporta. She's not with a man. She's not with a real man like Sam Laporta of the Detroit Lions.
Not the Pfizer lover, which is Travis Kelce, right? I mean,
yeah.
How did love? How did? Let's not even call it love. Let's call it this flirtatious intertwining of a celebrity superstar and Travis Kelce turn into like NFL ratings. It's a little too much.
Oh my gosh! Well, the Kansas City Chiefs and Kelce and Mahomes are already like the darlings of the NFL. So to add Taylor Swift on top of that, and to get all these, Swifties on board with the NFL, like literally, like people are like, I've heard people say Taylor Swift helped make Travis Kelce famous, but like in our little circles, it seems odd, but and in some ways it's got to be true.
Yeah, but there's a lot of there's a lot of bad blood running around.
There is.
Did you see how it could
be bad blood? Oh my goodness.
They don't pay me these hefty sums to do nothing. Just drink Keystones and get drunk and do podcasts.
But I did hear from your daughter. I asked her straight up. I said, and I thought the answer was going to be who, because I said, hey, do you think Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will last? And she just immediately says, yes, because Travis Kelce is Taylor Swift's 13th boyfriend.
What?
And 13 is Taylor Swift's favorite number.
But on Under the Covers podcast, here's how we run this, right? You want to tell how people we run this? Come on, you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a popular song, and then we're going to pick a cover version of the song. And then we will talk about each version of the song, and we'll discuss the positives, negatives, if there are any negatives. And then at the end, we'll choose our favorite version. We haven't discussed which version we like better with each other. We basically just suggest a song and suggest a cover, and we go from there. We like to pick covers that aren't necessarily just a duplicate of the original. We like it when the artist that covers the song makes it their own. And that's the gist of our podcast. This is episode 5, so we've done 4 before this, and right now the tally stands. I am.
Ooh, way to go, Captain Abacus.
Yes, we should get an abacus, a tally abacus for this. I've chosen 2 covers and 2 originals.
I don't know what I've done. I'd have to get my abacus out.
We'll figure out Nick's later.
I think I'm actually one less original because I got Jet on Backdoor Santa.
Okay.
So
you did get Jet on Backdoor Santa, which it's good. You didn't like the sleigh bells through the whole.
The
song.
sleigh bells, I was
sleigh
pretty.
Bells got old for you.
I was pretty hungover too, and so those sleigh bells were just right in my eardrum, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm done. I can't do it." Plus, I like Australians.
Yeah,
crikey, put another ship on a bobby.
Yeah. You don't like the Swedish though. We figured that out.
No,
at least not their food. He likes the Swedes themselves.
I will say this. I got to interject because more people have texted and called me about Swedish meatballs that I'm going to have to actually eat one, I think.
Yeah, I can't believe you've not had a Swedish meatball.
No, I just don't like the name meatball. I mean, it just...
You've eaten meatball. You make meatballs for your spaghetti.
Yeah, but they're different.
They're Italian.
They're different. Yeah, they're like, meat the ball. Not a meatball.
Oh. Well, yes. That was somewhat like the test we did earlier.
Yeah.
It was a little Swedish chef, but
it was a lot.
A little more in your face.
It was a lot, yeah. So all right, so we're gonna get into this.
Yeah. So Nick definitely brought up our song today, "Bad Blood," Taylor Swift. We do have another sponsor today, so I'll get.
This is a probably $high $1 unit because I mean we got Taylor Swift episode. We know this is a banger.
Yeah. So our sponsor today is Swiftie.
Oh.
Are you a vampire, tired of settling for mediocre meals that leave your immortal taste buds craving more? Say farewell to the days of lackluster bad blood with Swiftie, the ultimate blood flavor enhancer that transforms every feeding into a feast fit for the nocturnal elite. Shake it off and flavor it up with Swiftie, and never let bad blood stand in your way again.
I see what you did there.
So, thank you, Swiftie, for sponsoring our episode today.
I think Taylor Swift actually paid for that ad, straight up.
What? I mean, it might not have been Taylor directly, but
could be her holding company.
Could.
By the way, do you know Taylor Swift is the most pollutant celebrity out there via her private jet travels?
Really? Not like Dave Matthews Band?
No, dump shit right in a river. No. Dave Matthews Band is just horrible because they're just horrible. But, no, Taylor Swift took more flights of any celebrity in 2022, 2023, and obviously with her love of her life in living in Kansas City, which there's nothing there in Kansas City worthwhile. She's going to keep going.
Barbecue, maybe.
Yeah, she just loves the barbecue.
Yeah, she looks like a barbecue eater.
She loves the Barbecue wiener. But no, yeah. So she produced like 6.8 tons of pollutants. But
Wow.
you know what she did?
Produced
Because
a lot of good songs that counteracted that pollution.
no, she spent twice as much money to counteract that via carbon neutral credits, so that she was absolved of that. So she does some good. And you know what? She paid her truck drivers. She gave every one of them for the tour of the Eras tour around the United States. She gave every one of them $100,000 as a bonus. That's above their normal pay, to say thank you for taking her rig across the country. Which, you know what?
That's impressive.
It ain't that bad.
Yeah. No, that's good. And when you say like the carbon neutral credits, like basically she's paying to make, giving the government money to make things that help
I guess
the
I
environment.
really don't know how that works,
Okay.
but basically she knows that, hey, I'm going to spend this much money making pollutants in the air, and decided I'm going to pay more money to try to counteract that. So I don't know.
I mean, that's
It's valiant
awesome.
at it's valiant at minimum.
Yeah, she realizes what she's doing, so she's just trying to help out where she can, because she knows she has to keep doing it if she wants to entertain the masses and continue being.
You know what? I would rather her realize what she's doing is making it miserable for any football fan to watch football. See how I did that? I brought everybody up like,
Yeah.
oh, we like Taylor Swift.
We like Taylor Swift. You're just, you got to get NFL Red Zone, then I mean, you still see it. It is kind of annoying. It won't be. The problem is like your daughter says, they're gonna make it.
My
They're
daughter
gonna make it. 13th boyfriend. 13 is her favorite number. Fate.
So I'll go on. I'll go further here and say that it's great seeing my daughters love music when Taylor Swift is on. I bought my daughter Adelie a couple Taylor Swift albums, vinyl, including the 1989 or whatever, and it's cool to see them get excited every time a song's played, and that makes me happy. So even though it's hard for me to like her voice, or I'm not sure how I feel about all her songs. It's cool to see them very happy, and like this podcast is the whole point of this podcast is to expose people to new music, talk about music, appreciate music, and compare and contrast. There's parts you're not going to like, there's parts you are going to like, and even with this podcast or this specific episode is I talked to my family a lot about this because they were so close, especially the girls, to Taylor Swift, and to say, hey, I want you to help me out with the thoughts here, and I'm really excited to share that with you, and how we kind of went through that. So
yeah, I'm excited to hear it. I know you teased me with that earlier, but we had to save it. And understand, but yeah, I'm excited to hear that. Bad Blood was on the album 1989 by Taylor Swift. Released.
What year was she born?
She was born in 1989.
What about Travis Kelce?
1989.
I see it all coming together here.
What a fun year, 1989. I don't remember much of it. I was a young child.
Moved to Michigan in '87.
Okay.
I think I met your fifth. I was in fifth grade. I didn't meet
okay.
your sister.
All right. Yeah. We were chilling, away from you.
Oh, yeah.
But life wasn't great in 1989 because I didn't know this guy yet. But Taylor Swift was born.
She played here in Michigan, Muskegon, and I think Mindy and I went and saw her because she opened for somebody, but she was really young there.
So it was like when she was doing the country.
14, yeah.
Okay.
Might have been John Michael Montgomery or something like this, but but I don't. There's nothing said around that says here's where she sang, because she was so young at the time that who would have believed that she would have been the biggest superstar on earth.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. So it's a possible concert sighting.
The old Muskegon Summer Celebration.
Yeah, Muskegon.
Muskegon.
So I think this album was like her fifth
album,
fourth or fifth album, maybe.
Jeez.
Maybe fourth. I didn't write that down or take that note, but I know she did a few country albums. Yeah, so she had some country albums. She kind of shifted with the album Red. I really liked that album. I Knew You Were Trouble is one of my favorite Taylor songs. I am a Taylor fan. I would not say I'm a Swiftie, but yeah, Red was kind of where I started, liking her music. 1989. I think it even shifted even more, and she kind of just straight up said, "Nope, I'm pop, fun music, pop folky stuff."
She is pop. I mean, straight up. I mean,
But now she's definitely
pop,
just straight pop.
And I tell you, man, the legions of fans and her. I saw a little bit of part of the movie from the Eras tour. Great performer. I mean, probably one of the best. I gotta say.
Yeah.
As much as I resist, I'm resisting the force.
We have talked quite a bit about Taylor and different things, and not quite much about the song. Bad Blood. It was a single from the album. It's a song that some people say was written about her relationship with Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Which
I love Katy Perry.
Yeah, Katy Perry. But neither Taylor nor Katy have confirmed nor denied this, as far as I know.
I mean, Katy Perry is pretty cool. I mean, I like that Roar song. I don't even think the girls know that they don't like each other.
Yeah, Roar is cool. California Girls with Snoop Dogg, I think. That's a fun one.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so Katy Perry's got some good music too, but Bad Blood, it was produced by a Swedish gentleman, I believe.
Are you kidding me? We're bringing up meatballs again?
Yes. Swedish producer Max Martin. Which rang some bells, and I remember watching a Netflix documentary about like pop music and this Max Martin. I was like, I think so. I Googled it, and he was in the show, and this Max Martin from Sweden has helped like so many different pop artists in the US just become huge. So I remember seeing it, and Ace of Base was the big one.
Oh my gosh.
Because they I think were Swedish or from somewhere
I think they are
Scandinavian. And
did they do I Saw the Sign?
Yes. So when I was writing down my notes, I typed Ace of Base and I typed bass, BASS.
Yeah.
Like the bass guitar.
Oh, bass.
And no, it's bass, like your home base or first base,
fishing,
or third base. But Max Martin made pop stars out of Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Katy Perry.
Is this dude the guy that's like
Justin Timberlake?
Is this the guy like blonde hair? Looks like really heavy. He looks like a yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's kind of a cookie guy.
Yeah, and this guy just makes everybody a star because he helps them. I mean, he helps write the songs too. And he produces them. And
I do remember. He looks like he eats a lot of chicken wings. He looks like a gross John Daly.
No, he didn't eat. He ate the Swedish meatballs.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's a brilliant in the music industry, and so he helped a lot with this.
Like Mickey Mouse Club and all that. I mean, he was all part of that whole thing.
Maybe I didn't.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Jeez,
but yeah, this guy also a Netflix documentary. I know we're not sponsored, but by Netflix yet, but give that one a go.
Well, we're driving a hard bargain with Netflix. Just let's call it is. Netflix. We're going to hold out here. We've got so many fans out here. We've got the Swiffle Blender Plus or whatever it was.
No, it's SwiftBite.
SwiftBite.
For all our vampire listeners.
We got a lot of vampire listeners. Netflix. We're holding out.
So yeah, that's part of the reason why I believe, I mean, other than the genius of Taylor Swift, but Max Martin definitely played a big role.
So
in the
you think
song.
she's a genius?
A musical genius? Yes.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
She's good. Genius is a big word to me.
I'm proud of you for that.
I just don't usually do 2-syllable words like genius.
Yeah, I know it.
You're kind of the word guy.
Genius means a lot, and it means like. But I believe that Taylor Swift is a musical / business genius. Like I would put her in that.
She has
category.
multiple private jets. I mean, she's very successful.
Yeah.
So are we?
We should listen to the song.
Listen. Do we talk about how this podcast works?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've been drinking a lot.
Yeah. We told the listeners how it works. We're gonna listen to the song. You guys can listen along. Not with us, unfortunately, because we don't have the rights to the song. So if you want to listen to it, we're going to play a little musical clip.
If you go follow us on Spotify, you can listen to the songs back to back.
Yep. You can listen to it. You can hit pause.
Come back,
listen to the song, and we'll see you in a few.
All right.
How long is the song? Do we know?
I don't know.
Well, you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. Has a lot of listens, I'm pretty sure. Not 1 billion.
We'll figure that out.
You think it's 1 billion or more?
No, less than 1 billion.
Less than 1 billion.
Beat It had over 1 billion.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Right, so, listen now.
I stay up too late.
Hey, I used to hate that "hey" in that song.
You know what I love about it?
What?
It ends the song.
It does.
Like straight up. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad that it ends the song. I just thought, gosh dang, you hear it as a point of emphasis all the way through the song, and then it ends it like boom. That's the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a big.
It doesn't fade out.
Doesn't fade out. It does it in such a cool way. Just hey.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, you know what? I will say this. Again, we talk about this almost every podcast. Is that if you listen to these songs through headphones, you get these bits and pieces that'll bring you closer to the song, and especially on the parts where she's singing quieter, or there's definitely processed voices and there's processed music and stuff like that. But if you listen to her voice as she's talking more than singing. She's got a good low timbre of her voice. Not necessarily it's not the high parts. She sings some really cool notes in the lower register of her voice, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I think.
No, I agree.
And you don't hear that because a lot of times there's a lot of stuff going over the top of that. But when she's sort of talking about, and my daughter Josie noticed that. My daughter's, you know, she's young, so she said she likes that there's parts of the song where she sings quiet, but when she sings quiet, she sounds strong, and then when she says the big words, it sounds even stronger, which is what this song is about. It's about being strong.
Nice. So like what she ate. So
yeah,
like to pick up on that is amazing.
Yeah. And she didn't articulate it that way, but it was cool how she thought about that, and it is when you hear it, you know, and the hey part just kind of brings you back into play. If you're listening to those lines, you're kind of like listening to those lines, and then hey, it's like a period. It's like bam, you better you should have just listened to that fucking line I just said.
Yeah. I really like, so like you mentioned, when she's singing stronger and then quieter, like when she gets deep into the song and she says, "Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes.
Mm-hmm.
You say sorry just for show." Like that line, like that probably hits for any listener because obviously, bullet holes, no, not quite everything, but the it's metaphoric and everybody's been hurt by somebody and you get the, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it's, you don't always get the true apology, and so I think a lot of people can relate to this song.
Yeah. One of the things looking at the lyrics of this song as we go through it is I don't think it's about Katy Perry. As much as I want to make it about Katy Perry because that's what everybody says. I mean, it used to be Mad Love. So take a look at what you've done, because baby, now we've got bad blood. Now we got it's too. I don't want to get into what it could be, but I feel like that's more of a relationship boy girl versus a girl girl thing. That's what I at least in my mind.
No, I can see that. Like it's a more of a physical relationship.
Yeah, and maybe that's because I don't know. I can't say the long version of Taylor's name, Tay, because we're not on the. I don't know what her love life is like, but I thought she was more into Travas.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I haven't followed Taylor her whole career or Katy Perry either, and so.
Yeah. So last night in the car, the three kids, they said they love the slow and upbeat side of the song. Like it goes slow, but it's upbeat, and it kind of goes back and forth. My son Scott, who's 14, he says it's really easy to remember. There's not a lot of lyrics to it. I mean, if you kind of get through it, and then Josie, my youngest, she likes it that it was quiet at first and then gets loud, and she loves the bullet holes line. She thought that was cool. So that's what they loved about the song.
Yeah. No, it's I like it. Like, again, like I said, I used to not enjoy the haze, the like, kind of like you said, like, just fucking listen to me. Hey.
Yeah. And the hey, you bring up that hey, and I would absolutely 100% hate the hey if the song didn't end with the hey.
With the hey, okay.
Like, in the song, it's disruptive. Like, I'm like, all right, I got it. Like, maybe once would have been fine, like before the bridge or something else. It's a lot. But because the song ends with that, it's kind of like, I give it a pass. The things the kids didn't like. Now, my middle daughter, Adley, she liked the whole thing start to finish. She didn't have anything bad to say about it. Scott felt like it was pretty repetitive, which is insightful because I kind of feel the same thing. I mean, once you get into it, you're kind of like, okay, there's not a lot of change up. I know the bridge part is, but it also kind of isn't the same. I think it's the same chord structure, just quieter. And then Josie, the 8-year-old, she said she wishes it ended a little different. She felt like it gets a little repetitive at the end. And then I think she really would like to have a fade out because, she's 8 and she would like that song to go on forever. So
I think, and I think this is kind of a Max Martin thing with making pop hits, as they do get kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
Because they stick in your head.
Yeah.
They want you to just keep going and keep going. And I think that's what makes a lot of hits is that they do, that way you remember and you can sing along. Kind of back to the In Bloom episode. It was kind of like the joke that Kurt Cobain was kind of making in the song In Bloom was, oh, you just sing along. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so I think it's not a knock on pop songs or this song in general. It's just kind of how they are built,
With
in my opinion.
you're right. With song making, I mean, it's a balance, right? Uh, Look, listening to Beat It. I mean, if you listen to Beat It, and hell, let's even listen to the two versions of Beat It that we talked about in the last episode, is that you don't feel that in the Michael Jackson version because because for whatever reason, even though they're almost the same beat over and over again, where the Fall Out Boy one you feel like I've heard this riff before. This song is even more heavy because it's just so 4/4 time or whatever it is, and that's okay. I mean, because you want this to be more of a cadence, and cadence time makes you want to feel like it's a march, like I'm going to go do something, which goes back to the theme of the song of being bad blood. It's supposed to be an anthem. It's supposed to be.
Hmm.
He said, and then go listen to. We're getting ready to go into college football, playoff season. Go listen to any of those marching bands. I mean, that's what they are. They're all about marches and these anthems. And so
Yeah.
repetitive isn't bad. It's just you got to find the right balance of what bores people and what doesn't. And Bad Blood is a certifiably hit. So obviously the people have voted to say, yeah, this is a this is a good balance.
Yeah. Yep.
So we've got this pop queen,
Hmm.
somebody who is as mass market as mass market could be in Taylor Swift. And then who comes up and says, "Hey, I want to cover this song"?
Well, some man named Ryan Adams who decided to not only cover Bad Blood, but to cover the entire album 1989, and also just name it 1989, a year after Taylor released this album.
Pretty ballsy.
Pretty ballsy. He totally reimagines the whole album. And so we chose Ryan Adams because he did make it his own. He did just totally reimagine these songs.
It kind of cool because this is one where listening to the whole album. I've listened to the whole album all the way through and listened to the Taylor Swift album, and this one here flies pretty close to the sun, where it's kind of like has the gravitational force of the song, the original song, but there's definitely this different interpretation of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because this goes back to kind of episode 1, where I think the meaning of the song changes by the production of the song. And in my mind, where the Taylor Swift version is more powerful, as in saying emphatically, we've got some bad shit we're working through. I feel like the Ryan Adams version is a little bit more like, dang it, we got some bad shit going on. Like, I don't, does that make sense? I don't. It's a different perspective.
No, I agree. It's and so Ryan Adams, if you're not familiar, is kind of like an alt country folk kind of guy. He's done stuff. He's done a lot of stuff solo. He's been with a band called Whiskey Town. He's been with a band called the Cardinals. I've liked pretty much most of the stuff he's done through his career. And to be honest, I was introduced to Taylor Swift by Ryan Adams because of this album, 1989.
Well, you shouldn't say that. You were at the bar that one night. Ryan Adams was there.
No.
He said, "Hey, come over here and meet my friend Taylor Swift."
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I got Katy Perry back there. I got to go bang her.
By the way, I'm Taylor Swift's 10th boyfriend. Travis Kelce's coming up. He's number 13. It's just like the NFL scripted, Taylor Swift's life's scripted. But no, I had mentioned, I think in a last episode, I put like a bubble over myself in music at certain points in my life, and I just didn't listen to a lot of different things. And so honestly, I knew Ryan Adams, and he put out this album 1989. I was like, oh, it's a fun album. This is a good album. Then I realized, oh my gosh, it's by Taylor Swift. These are all cover songs. So I started listening to Taylor Swift, and I was like, I don't know, because they were so different. But then I started listening to Taylor Swift more and more and more, and so thank you, Ryan Adams, for introducing me to Taylor Swift. I still enjoy you both, and life is better now that I know you both.
When you thank Ryan Adams, you should probably look right in the camera and be like, Ryan Adams, thank you for introducing me to
Ryan Adams. I'm thanking you right now for introducing me to Taylor Swift. Amen.
That's what you get here, folks. You get one-on-one connections with superstars that you may or may not know. So
should we listen? We should listen to the song.
I think you need to dive into the song, because I don't think a lot of listeners that we have really know Ryan Adams. So I think you should probably listen to it, and then we can talk about it, because I think people will be understanding. Like, oh, I that's crazy. That is quite a bit different. So, are you guys good with that?
Yep.
Give us a thumbs up.
I heard a thumbs up.
All right, let's do it. I like his interpretation of it a lot.
I agree. He took an extremely in-your-face pop song and just kind of acousted it down.
Yeah,
is acousted it?
Acoustai?
No, I really enjoy that version. Like I said, he introduced me to Taylor Swift with that.
By itself, it would have been it's a great song. If he released that, or I mean, obviously he did, you're like, wow, that's a really good song. I still think that the perspective of it changes, that he's sad versus mad. He's more like, geez, there's some bad blood and it's really bad. Interpretive of saying, I want to work through this. On her side, on Taylor Swift's side, it feels like there's some fucking bad blood. I don't like it.
Yeah, like it's done.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. I see that. Like, especially with the attitude of the different versions of the song. Taylor's like, we got bad blood, and bye, Felicia.
Bye, Kate.
And Ryan Adams is just like this sucks, but can we figure it out?
So being 40-year-old dudes, we feel that emotion and that thought. Being sub 14, some of the thoughts that my kids had were that Scott, he's 14, says that he trails off and mumbles a lot, and it's true. Almost every line of the song where he goes da 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 da, Ryan Adams softens his voice and lowers it into the timbre of the song to where you never really hear the last word real great, and that's pretty interesting that they notice that.
Yeah, have to pick up on that.
But also I understand why, like, as a pop song, and that Taylor Swift version is so good, because they get all the words. They like that. That's what they go through.
Mm-hmm. I really like I know I might
Yeah,
have
no.
interrupted you, but I really like the guitars in the Ryan Adams version. The do 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 do.
Yeah.
Like there's something about those that tinging ringing sound of that in Ryan's version that I really enjoy. That's
It creates a good country soundscape.
mhm.
And you brought this up, like I being Taylor Swift, being early in her career, being country, and I think Ryan Adams brought the country side to this song, where the other song was more of an anthem, process music. I think those guitars created that soundscape, kind of like In Bloom. I mean, with Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah, because you've got one. Both are obviously produced, but you've got one that's the pop version that's produced by the Swedish chef,
Doink, doink, doink.
and the Swedish chef of pop music, and then you've got the alternative country kind of guy. That's it's just it's a different sound, obviously.
By intention.
By intention. I did hear that Taylor really liked Ryan's interpretations of her songs from this album, and I did read at one point that she would incorporate his kind of interpretations of her songs into her live performances.
Nice.
At some point.
Which makes sense, because I mean, I think as a commercial artist that she would be, and having gone to art school myself, if you were such a huge pop star or person that made such huge works that people appreciated it, if somebody had an interpretation on the stuff that you did, I think you would take it as flattery versus copying. Whereas if you turn that around, if Ryan Adams had written those albums first and then Taylor Swift, I think he would be like, nah, you copied my work. But that's the thing about art, is there's a very fine line of homage to interpretation, which is what this whole podcast is about, So the one thing I will say this is that the Ryan Adams tail end of that song, the last minute and 13 seconds, gets long. It's the same. Talk about repetitive.
Yeah, it does. It does that do 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 over and over again.
I thought the first time I heard it that I was going to get some guitar solo or some sort of way to embellish it to the end, knowing that the Taylor Swift version ends with kind of hey, like a minute, and this one kind of didn't. And going back again to the In Bloom episode, where there was a soundscape that I didn't hate. This one here, I'm kind of like, geez, we didn't get any new knowledge after the first couple rounds of that, and after 45 seconds of it, you're kind of like, oh, geez, I wish I had a hey here or something.
Yeah, he definitely didn't add any haze to it.
But no, the kids they thought this they thought the song was interesting because it did bring in the country style. The kids like the country.
And I wouldn't even say this is country by any means. I mean, it's more
they
like a folk rock. Like,
you're right. I mean, it is more of a folk rock, but for them, their vocabulary is probably, that's the only way to put that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
But no. So I mean, we're at an hour here. I mean, what do you think there, Charlie?
Yeah, I guess it's my turn to go first. And goodness, I thought it would be fitting to do the Queen of Pop after the King of Pop with our last episode, Michael Jackson. I came into the song and like I explained earlier, introduced to Taylor Swift by Ryan Adams. I fully expected to just select Ryan Adams this round because I love Ryan Adams' version of 1989, the whole album. I highly recommend listening to it. I listened to the song multiple times by both artists, and I will pick Taylor as my favorite for this version of Bad Blood. This round, Taylor Swift gets my vote.
I'm gonna cut right to the chase. Is that there are certain artists and the way they deliver their vocals, the way that they nuance their songs and the production, that just win. And like Michael Jackson being the king of pop and how he enunciated everything that he did, Taylor Swift did the same thing with this song, and I was the same way. I let me say this. I'll put my heart on my sleeves. I didn't like Taylor Swift before this episode. Like I heard the Shake It Off from the other movie. But after listening to this, I was in getting in depth into the nuances of the song, I was like, wow, you cannot deny the talent, the delivery, the production of a song. And it's I like being the little rebel that Ryan Adams might be, but gosh dang, you just can't you just can't you can't put your fist in front of a tsunami. You might as well just surf on it, right? So yeah, I picked Taylor Swift too. Great version.
Skittlepuss for the win.
Skittle. Do we got going on here? We can't even do that. We're right next to each other. We can't even do this. This is the high class production you get on Under the Covers. So, well, what do you guys think? We appreciate all the insights, all the feedback, all the comments, all the text messages, all the Instagram, Facebook posts that we get. So please keep them coming. If there's a song you would like, let us know. We will publish our Spotify link, so you can not only get our podcast, but you can also get a playlist that will continue to grow with the songs that we're having on this podcast. So you can listen to them back to back, or listen to the whole thing. And we just we appreciate you guys listening to us and hearing what little insight we have. Like I said, we're just two normal dudes just having fun. So drinking beers and
we really appreciate it. Like every text I get or message, like it just feels great. Like put ourselves out here like this. Like I would never think in my whole life that I would do something like this. So for me, it means a lot. We appreciate every listen. We look forward to releasing more. We just did a Christmas episode a few weeks ago, and we'd like to do more themed episodes as holidays come along and things like that. So suggestions on that, but anything else as well.
In the end, we do have great sponsors like Skittlepuss Blenders or whatever it is.
No.
But we may even we
got Swift Bite this week.
Swift Bite. Sorry, I thought we were doing blenders.
It was kind of a niche sponsor, but the vampire community is big and growing. So,
but we're getting to the point where we might have to put a Patreon link down below so that you guys can buy us about a 12-pack of beer, because that's what it takes about an episode for us to get to get over our nerves. So, with that, hey Charlie, this has been fun. Our first, how many episodes we got? 6, 5,
we're 5 in.
It's been great. It's been more fun than I thought it would be. And,
it has.
It's been nervous at times, and we're still working through the technical difficulties. We've got lots of equipment here that we have no idea how to use.
No, I keep pushing buttons, but I don't know what happens.
Yeah, why don't we press that one?
This one?
Do it. With that, over and out, guys.